Well, let's see what some of the homemade placards say. Let's see what this one says. Stand up for education. Splendid. Young lady, are you a teacher?
I am.
You are. What are the reasons for all of you being on strike today?
Well, working conditions, like pay, we've always got so much to do. The curriculum as well is like really strict demands on the children. High demands of the children.
Are you a primary or secondary teacher?
Primary.
Primary, because I used to be a governor at a local primary school, and the amount of paperwork that you all had to go through, I found, was just absolutely astonishing.
We want to be really creative teachers, but it's just high demands on the English and maths, and it's really hard to do lots of other nice things with the children.
So what actually happens during the school holidays when the children are not there?
Things like half term is always report writing.
Yeah.
Target track, putting data on and analysing, the children's work and trying to sort of agree levels.
Setting things up for the next term.
Yeah, I mean we're always going in the holidays to sort of set up the classrooms, do displays, catch up with things.
Because one of the things I think in particular the general public don't really appreciate with teaching is the amount of planning that goes into individual lessons and also your annual schemes of work.
Yes, yeah, they take hours. I mean, and just liaising with each other, we end up not having enough time within the school day to do that. So we, often have to meet outside of school hours to
Take
ensure that we're covering everything. The marking's got ridiculous.
Yeah. I just feel like the days are just so crammed. There's not really any time just to discuss things and just have a bit
consolidate
of consolidate the learning. It's all moving forward really quickly because you've got to go on to the next thing, then on to the next thing. So,
Okay, well,
it's quite hard going.
thank you very much and good luck. Let's ask a couple more teachers why they're striking. Ladies, why are you striking today?
Just because I believe in education and I don't believe in what the government have been doing to the children, testing them at such a young age, and they're not funding it properly, cuts, people losing their jobs. So I'm here to stand up for the children and education.
What actually happens during the school holidays? Is it just all sun and sunbathing, or does stuff happen?
Unfortunately, no, it's not. No, lots of things happen. I mean, there's so many things that happen in the school holidays, and so the workload in education, because I've been in education for 20 years, has just increased exponentially, and actually that eats into your time in the evenings, at the weekends, family time. I know somebody here just to my right who actually is cross about how much education and the paperwork she does eats into her family time. So yeah, no, definitely not.
At the moment, preparing for new assessments. The guidelines are changing, ever changing in fact, and we don't leave school at 4:30 whenever the children leave. We're routinely there till 6 or 7 o'clock, and a workload
routinely working 60 to 70 hours and hugely in holidays.
So there you have it, 60 to 70 hour weeks, and again, not all of that is paid, is it? The amount of unpaid overtime.
We don't get paid for that.
So what sort of things do you do in the overtime? I'm thinking especially in terms of the creative and extra
paperwork that's a bit unnecessary really, sort of filling in the same form about 5 times for the same thing.
There's a lot of reproduction with paperwork and having to document everything that you do.
So we're about to bump into Councillor Charlotte Perry, who is one of the relatively newly elected councillors here in Cambridge representing the Albury Ward. So let's say hello, Councillor.
Hello, how are you?
Oh, no rest for the wicked. You happy to chat for a bit on camera?
Yeah, sure.
Splendid. First of all, what brings you here?
We are against cuts for education. I'm a member of the NUT.
Just pop that up there.
Well, thank you.
Thank you.
We're against cuts in education, and we believe that the Tories have made these cuts unnecessarily. We want to say no to austerity and no to blaming migrants and immigration for problems in our schools.
So, one of the things that's happened in the past week is that the complete implosion of central government, where we've just seen this complete policy vacuum emerge. what's that meant for you both as a teacher, but also as a counsellor?
Well, I think that it's important to realise that there isn't so much a policy vacuum as policies that are damaging to education and to the NHS and to our public services are still running. Just because the referendum has happened and there's chaos in the Conservative Party doesn't mean that damaging policies aren't still continuing to be implemented, and that's why we're protesting, because we want people to be aware that these policies are still running, they're still damaging. There are big things happening in the country right now which are really important to know about, but it's also important to know that we are still here and we are still protecting your children's education.
So basically, how has government policies affected both you as a teacher in the secondary field and also as a history teacher?
Well, if you think about how many changes have been made to the syllabus over the past few years, we have had to introduce an entirely new GCSE, and the government doesn't seem to realise that if we're going to implement a new GCSE for your children to do well in, we might need textbooks, we might need new equipment, we might actually need to afford to be able to buy glue, which currently we're finding quite difficult at the moment considering the cuts. We have been given no extra money by the government for textbooks. We are having to find it all out of our own budget. We are having to also fund the day-to-day needs of the school. It's ridiculous. The government makes these changes year in, year out to what we should do, to how we're measuring progress. They actually give us no 5-year cycle to actually measure whether the changes they're making are actually appropriate and are actually working, because they make changes every couple of years, sometimes, if we're very unlucky, every 6 months. And then they go and they don't seem to be interested in actually measuring that rate of change. Instead, they're just interested in making those changes for the hell of it and not giving us the money to do it.
Councillor, thank you very much.
Thank you.
So, there you have it.